What up, though? This is your boy Mike D, host of Wrestling from the 313. Sorry for the late start. We were having some technical difficulties, but we are here and we ready to talk some wrestling. Joe Monroe was supposed to be with us. Unfortunately, he won't be with us tonight. Still want to say what up, though. And also want to say what up to the Sean Rodriguez. He was supposed to be on tonight. We had to reschedule. He will be on sometime next month. So tune in for that. But right now, it's 3/4 of the Main Event Roundtable. Of course, it's me, Mike D. We got Professor Bear from WSN, and we got Samp from the Samp and Chance podcast. What up, fellas?
What's happening? What's happening?
Man, chilling like a villain, man. This is the first hot day in Michigan. It was like 85, 87, and I'm not liking it at all. I hate hot weather. I'm a fall baby. I was born in October, so I like fall and spring.
I think every season has its place in my heart. You know, thankfully, we're lucky we get 4 seasons. I'm not sure what it's like in Kentucky, sir, Mr. Bear, but in Detroit, I believe Tennessee. Sorry, pardon me. I'm not sure if you get seasons in Tennessee, but I know Detroit and Ontario, just because of where you guys are.
Yeah. One
day you wake up, it's just cold.
Yep.
And then you wake up one day and it's hot.
Yep. And it's starting to get into that period where that warm weather is about to be here. It's about to stay. So like,
brother, you don't like the heat at all?
Nah, anything over 85, I don't like all that humidity.
I don't know what 85 is, so I'm gonna look that up really quick. We're Celsius people.
Okay.
Well, hey, I wish I could get some of that because it's the same thing. Tennessee, you could have a snowstorm one day, and the next day you out in shorts, and because it's so damn hot, you just never know.
Oh shit! You guys are 30 degrees today. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We're sitting at about 23, 24 today.
Hey, man. Michigan, man. If it was 24 around this time, man, it'd be like, man, what the hell?
You know why we're old? Because we're talking about the weather like it's like some serious stuff.
Right.
Hey, actually, before we start, someone told me. So I did a live with some boxing friends on the weekend.
Okay.
And apparently, you guys can get strikes for cussing on lives. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
If that's the case, I should have been shut down at least 3 years ago.
So is YouTube regulations different in every country then, I'm guessing then?
Well, see, that's the thing.
It's in the UK.
Well, see, we do a little of YouTube, but we're not basically on YouTube.
Gotcha.
That's why.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to know because I thought maybe the regulations change from country to country. So
no, I think they're pretty much the same.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. That's all I have to say. Let's do it.
All right. So you got to kick it off Sunday. Everybody thought it was kind of like an April Fool's joke. You know how R-Truth is, but actually it was true. And he announced on social media that WWE was not renewing his contract and he was released. And a lot of people are in their feelings about this. You know, they were chanting, "We want truth" at Monday Night Raw. I've been seeing people in the comments in the WWE shorts on their YouTube channel. People have been putting in the comments, "We want truth, re-sign truth." So I've never seen like a release from a wrestler like hit people this hard. Like, you know, some wrestlers, like when Bray Wyatt got released, people were upset, but they after a while they got over it. Yeah. I don't think people gonna get over R-Truth. So starting off with you, Professor Bear, what did you think?
Yeah, like you, I was like, oh, okay, that man, why are you playing? And then it was like, oh no, this is true. Then I was thinking, nah, there's some kind of angle. They setting up a angle and trying to bait us in. Then once I found out that it was really true, I was like, I felt bad for Truth. I love R-Truth. His run has been phenomenal, but the thing that we forget, I think, is this is a business. And let's face it, R-Truth is 53. Why in the world would you? And plus, I heard that they offered him a contract, but it wasn't the same amount of money as before. And Truth, no matter what you think about R-Truth, Ron Killings, whatever you want to call him, he's a businessman. He has a family to support, and he probably understands because he has so many different outside ventures. Plus, man, anybody in the wrestling community will try to get him. I mean, I've heard that he has some big money offers on Monday. So I feel sorry that we're not going to get to see him on WWE, but I'm excited for him to see what he's going to do next. And hopefully, if he chooses to, he will sign with somebody else. If not, do independence. He's going to make his money. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with him.
That's what's up. That's what's up. What's your thoughts, Sam?
Yeah, I have no problem with that. Again, from a business standpoint, completely. He's 53, 55 years old. Yeah. He's just coming off a real serious injury that sidelined him for a good year almost, correct?
Yeah.
So at that age, your body's now compromised. You're not built he still moves better than half that roster, to be completely honest, but he can't do it night in and night out.
Yep.
Now, when I heard the news and I realized it was real, my first thought was this: if they're releasing people based on them not being used enough to justify what they're making, aka Sarah Logan, Carlito, okay, I'm okay with all that. And the same with Truth. I mean, he comes out, he makes you laugh, but think about it. Every generation has had its straight man, right? Who was before him? It was a Santino show.
Exactly.
Right. And then Carly, before Santino, I can't remember who it was when I was a kid because they were all characters. Right. I mean, they were all characters of something else. So, the rock and wrestling time was like that. And then you had Santino during the Attitude Era running the show into the Ruthless Aggression time, sort of. And then R-Truth kind of came in and took over.
Yeah.
So we're used to him. We're used to breaking up the monotony. We're used to all that. But at the end of the day, it was just time to go. The question I had in my mind, why is Apollo Crews still here? Just saying, if we're releasing people based on inactivity, then why isn't he at the top of the list? And why are people talking about The Miz?
Well,
we don't.
That's my take.
Yeah, and not to interrupt, but I agree with you that okay, you're getting rid of certain talent, but then let's be real. WWE has a history of knowing, hey, this person people are looking for them. We're going to sit on them. We're going to make sure they can't go to the competition to hurt us.
Right.
As long as we can. Again, I understand the business part of it. Like you brought up The Miz. The Miz cut him. Again, these are people I have an affinity for. They make me laugh. Actually got a chance to meet The Miz and talk to him. So I have a real soft spot in my heart for him. But The Miz is going to be okay.
They're all going to be okay.
Yeah. And
right? I mean,
he already has a job. He's going to host the new American Gladiators.
There you go. I mean, everyone's going to be fine. I mean, like you said, keep in mind, guys, Truth is a guy that did work with Tupac. So there's no shortages of connections or anything for him to do. And like you said, he's a smart man. He invested well considering the character he plays on TV. So he's not going to hurt. None of these guys are going to hurt. As long as who's Ivar? Ivar and as long as Eric is still employed, Sarah Logan will be okay, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean, and then like, hey, you see a lot of wrestlers with their significant others in another company, so that
yeah.
is a part of the game.
Yeah. And I just think, and it's just kind of like you guys said, like a lot of these guys are getting older. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sam, you hit it. It's only so much Truth's body can take. He's in his he's pushing his mid-50s. You know what I'm saying? And I just think the times in wrestling are changing. You know, WWE is not owned by Vince or the McMahons. Nobody from the McMahons. They owned by actual company now. So that actual company say, hey, let this person go, let that person go. That's what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? And
You got non wrestling people running a wrestling company now, and it's ironic the people who were the people who were not happy with Vince, who wanted Vince out, who were like adamant that Vince is the problem, are now the same people saying we miss Vince, we miss
yeah,
Vince.
yeah,
Right.
because I also
And Chance, sorry, man, I got to get this in. Chance
go ahead.
makes a valid point, and the more I played in my own head, it makes sense to me. The problem with the WWE is they don't have that figurehead above Triple H to finalize everything. It's too buddy buddy, it's too chummy chummy back there. And you can see it in the commentary, you can see it in all aspects of the promos. Like it's not as tight as it used to be. Not when I was in love with it. And I still love it. Don't get me wrong. I'll still watch it. It's an evolution of what we're getting. But you now can see what this looks like without a McMahon really running it.
And with that's a great point, but I think too, like you said, it's an evolution of the business.
Exactly.
And with TKO, like I heard a rumor that TKO is hurting. They're losing big time money. So you got like they say, trim the fat.
But
You
how?
well, no,
How?
no. Well, that,
Two
what
nights of
I'm
WrestleMania at $8,000 for both seats. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where are these guys losing money? They're not paying the wrestlers
well,
that much.
well,
Like,
it's not just, but you got to think too. TKO is not just the WWE. WWE is bringing in money, but they got the UFC. They got their other businesses that is bringing them down. So
sure,
it's
sure,
like,
sure.
okay,
But see, this is the thing. If UFC is bringing them down, then why are they making them their number one asset? Like, just to talk about it for this weekend, for example, we get WWE here in the West Coast at 3 p.m. Money in the Bank starts at 3 p.m., so it doesn't interfere with UFC 316.
right,
If they're not drawing the numbers at UFC, then why not put WWE prime time? Because that's the only one that's really truly making the money
right. But
globally.
then you got the early one. They're doing two shows, but and I get what you're saying, but again, this is just
I
again
agree.
what I hear,
Yeah.
and so it's part of being a business that us as wrestling fans we really rarely look at and care about. It's about the action and the
Yeah,
characters. So
right.
getting back to the whole character thing, you cannot, your roster is bloated. So
Yeah.
you bringing up stars, like they say, you bring up stars. You if you got people that ain't doing nothing, why you keep them?
No,
Just like you
100%.
brought up Apollo Cruz. I
Yeah.
think he may be another one that one will just come out. Hey guys, they just released me, and again, it is what it is. Is what have you done for me lately?
Well, but that's
Business.
wrestling in general, right, Bear? Like, if
Yeah,
you think, like, all three of us, we go back to the rock and wrestling time. So, not every star that we grew up with loving has been on that roster forever. Everyone comes and goes. It's a constant movement. It's
right.
like sports teams in general. You'll never is the '96 Bulls. they can only stay together for so long. Everything has to get to a transitional phase. And I've mentioned it on the show. I really believe we are now again at that transitional phase of wrestling where the guys that, like, the Seth Rollins, the Roman Reigns, the Dean Ambrose's, John Moxley's, all those guys that came up at that time. Like, we're seeing Cena, Batista, Brock, and all of them now fading away. Only one left of that group is Randy Orton.
Yeah.
All the Cena's crews pretty much gone. Most of the guys that came up with with Roman and all them, we're getting to the skinny of it now. Now it's time for the Bronson Reeds, the Braun Breakers to step up. We're going to see who those guys are, and that's going to be the guys. And then in 10 years' time, we're going to have this conversation again.
I would even say the same thing with AJ Styles and Sheamus. You know what I'm saying? They getting up in age, and AJ Styles just turned 48. You know what I'm saying? And he's even mentioned that it's almost that time.
Yeah. I mean, we grew up. We all saw the debut of the Undertaker, and we all saw the retirement of the Undertaker, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to date you guys, but to be fair, I saw Jordan come into the league, and I saw Jordan leave the league.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing too. That's why when certain stars on top and they don't build the mid card, that's why I'm so ticked off, because I'm like, hey, you ain't got too much time. We all think time is just, oh, I got time, man. Time is like this. It comes and goes. So that's why I had problems if you're not building your mid card to be able to, as you say, take the ball and run with it.
But this is where they're at right now. So we're seeing now, Evolution 2.0. They're trying to bring up these guys, and let's see where they go now. This is their make or break. This next year or two, in my opinion, will tell us what the next 10 years are going to look like for us.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Rhea's a veteran. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt with the Truth release, and that's even a couple hours after he had posted he got released. Carlito had got on social media and said that he was getting released. And then the next day, yesterday, Sarah Logan, she got released. So that's how I feel. I think right now what we about to see is they about to get rid of a lot of the older guys and a lot of people that are not being used. That's just my opinion. And
probably.
And from what I've been hearing, a lot of people on the roster are not happy about the releases. A lot of people feel, kind of nervous about their job and stuff. And I had read something on social media that it might be more releases to come. And I won't be surprised if we hear about some on Friday. That's just
and that's fine though. But I mean, here's when you say that these guys aren't happy with the releases of this and this, and then you know what, you're not hungry, in my opinion. I mean, the door just opened for you to prove yourself. You have another opportunity, more breathing room to prove yourself, to show that you do belong there, right? Like, why worry about this stuff? It's like any job, man.
Well, that's exactly what I was gonna say though. When you work at a job, 9 times out of 10, you're building relationships with your coworkers. So they're feeling like, damn, why are you, man, so it hits like that. Yeah. Now, again, you want to, okay, this makes room, I can get my stuff in, but it still won't change your feelings of, damn, man, my man's gone. The one that I come into, I'm having a bad day. I can talk to, we can train together or whatever. So that is just that personal feeling.
I get that. I just remember when it used to be really cutthroat, I guess.
Yeah. And it's like what you said too. It feels like people are not hungry the same way because of the way Vince McMahon was ruthless aggression, and Triple H is going in a different way of getting people to fight for spots and stuff. So it's a change, like you said, and in the next few years, we're going to see how well it does.
Yeah. I mean, in 2 years, if Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed or
Jacob hold on. breaking news. Mariah May just showed up on NXT.
Mariah May?
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, wow. Very cool. Her contract was up. She was done.
Yeah. He let her go. Yep, there she is.
Silly. I'll watch that later on. Thank God for Netflix, eh?
Man, what? Well, we get it on the CW here in the States, but
No, I get it on the CW. I have American channels as well, so I get it on the CW, but I also get it on the Netflix.
Okay, we don't get it on Netflix.
No, we get SmackDown on Netflix. We get everything on Netflix.
The only thing we get is Raw
with commercials, which we don't get.
Yeah. Real quick, want to give a shout out to Crander Q from Friends of the Square Circle. Appreciate you hopping on and watching us. Real quick, y'all, I want to ask y'all a question. So with these releases, where do you think R-Truth is going to stick around and wrestle? And if so, where do you think he could end up?
I mean, everyone would think AEW, but I mean, I just don't see him working there, man. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, if anything, we haven't talked about it, but McMahon has just started his new company, 14th and First, right? I mean, and who loved R-Truth the most? Yep. Vinnie Mac did.
Yep.
So, I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up with Vinnie somehow just to be, his guy there, whatever he's doing. I don't know what he's doing, but I could see that or just walk away in the sunset. He has nothing left to prove, man. And you know what? The reality of it is, he'll be back in the WWE in a year.
I think he may. Like you said, it's just what he wants to do. Yeah. And honestly, I can see him going to TNA for a little bit if he still has the wrestling bug. If he doesn't, hey, he does music, and I know he has some other stuff going on. So I mean, for Truth, you just never know where Ron Killings will end up. It's just what he's in a great position where he can do anything he wants, pretty much.
He can just do appearances and make the same amount of money in 6 months than he would in a whole year.
Yeah, think if he just go on an indie tour, just hit the indie circuit, man. Yeah.
And the beauty of it is they're not renewing your contract, so there's no compete clause. He can start he can start the next day.
Yeah.
And then you got to think about this too. And I think, Crander Q just put in the comments, he could also get into music. He also does rap too.
Well, he just had the album released 7 to 8 months ago. So he's deep in the music a lot more than people know.
Mind you, I think it would be fun to watch him interact with MJF on AEW.
Oh, God, yes.
Can you imagine? Actually, okay. My mind just went crazy here just thinking about this. So you have the Hurt Lock or the Hurt Business out there, and R-Truth shows up. And let the shenanigans fly, man. I want to watch him break Bobby again, MVP. I think that would be the only suitable thing for him to do if we were to go to AEW.
I heard somebody make the suggestion he should go. They should have him there, and he still thinks he is WWE.
Oh, actually, speaking of that, I'm gonna steal this from Bully Ray. I don't know if you guys heard it, but if they were smart, what they should have done, if they truly released them, now they should have done this on Monday. But if Cena was to come out or Logan Paul was to come out and say, we're here to ruin wrestling for everyone, because that's John Cena's thing. I'm the one to rule wrestling for everybody, right? I'm the main guy here. Yeah. I got Ron Killings fired.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, he would have so much heat on him if he
right. Logan could have done. It should have been done on Monday, though.
Ooh. Yeah.
Right. That's why I mean, dropping the ball, because
he still can get away with it if he does it Friday. But it has to be him coming out and making a big point of, I got rid of him. He couldn't beat me.
Or Saturday, because I don't know if Cena will show up on Friday. So Saturday when he comes out, because they're going to be shouting, "We want truth, we want truth."
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh,
It makes me wonder, is that why they gave him a big marquee matchup? Because they knew they were not going to renew him?
that could be a possibility. That
Now
could
I want the damn shirt now.
be. So, where do y'all think Carlito is going to end up? I could see him in the Indies, probably somewhere in Mexico.
Well, here's the funny thing. He just won the WWC their version of the World Championship. He won that Saturday
Oh,
at his father's company.
oh,
There you
So,
go, man. So, yeah, back to Puerto Rico.
yes, sir.
I don't think much changes for him. I mean, he's just going to do what he was doing before, right? The indie
yeah,
scene's flying around, whoever the highest bidder is,
Yeah.
and just be catered to. That's basically what he is right now, man. I mean, to be honest, he was in no rush to come back because he was living a pretty good life on the road that way, right? He was making a lot of money, accommodations paid for. Like when he came out to Vancouver, the company had to pay for someone to pick him up, drop him off, his airfare, his hotel.
yeah,
All he did was come in and make an appearance, right? Like for 15 minutes work, he got a lot of money and, free accommodations.
When you a
Now,
big
that's
name,
here, that's every city.
yeah, you a big. When you did some, you don't have to be a megastar in WWE to get on the indie scenes and make quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
And again, let's face it, like you said, it ain't like he's gonna hurt for money. It's not like he ain't gonna go back. But this is a key, just like our truth. They should have had him kicked out the damn Judgment Day. It was sitting right there.
yeah.
Have somebody kick him out. Have him say something and Liv just tired and they jump anything to not just he's just gone.
Well,
No
he's got 2 weeks left.
explanation.
He's got 2 weeks left. We'll see.
Yeah,
He's technically still under contract.
Yeah.
right.
But I think
Was he there yesterday?
No,
no,
that's
he wasn't
that's
on
the
there.
reason why
Oh, there you go.
I'm irritated about it
Take that
because
back.
he
I take
wasn't
that.
there. They didn't mention him. Matter of fact, generally when they go, he's playing the video
Video
games,
games,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
They didn't have a TV.
Oh,
They have nothing. So I'm like, man, oh, you can't Thanos him. Come on.
oh
yeah,
man, craziness.
yeah.
And that to me is one of the keys. Don't treat us fans like we're stupid.
Yeah.
Just write him out. I mean, just give him, hey, we injured him something, so it completes the story. Versus,
You could have it like just some guy in a big afro wig, like his, and just from behind, beating him from behind and throwing him in the trunk of a car.
right, anything
They did
to,
that on NXT. They did that on NXT. Remember when they released what was that? The non-catch crew guys?
yep,
Regal
yeah.
Sons crew, the Gable Stevenson's brother.
yeah.
That's how they got rid of him. Like from behind, some other random dude who looked like him had the same body shape, beat him up from behind and threw him in a car and said, "Okay, we took care of the situation."
Yep. That you complete your story.
Yeah.
And Triple H is big on finishing the story with Cody. Do that with your mid carders. Do it with anybody because again, what is wrestling? Wrestling is about storytelling.
Yeah.
We want our beginning, our middle, and our end. And when we don't get the end, it's frustrating and it feels like they're treating us like we're stupid. And that's for me where they piss me off. I'm like, man, we know what's going on. So just go ahead and give a storyline. We know y'all he quit or fired, whatever, but do something.
And the funny thing is, it happens so often. I think I'm so used to it now that I don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah. And like I said, from what I've been hearing, there might be more releases to come. And I mean, it's just like I said, it's like we all said, it's part of the business. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that they going in a direction where if you're not being used, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know what I'm saying, some of the guys from NXT, I think that they want to call some of them up. I'm hearing that Ricky Saints might be getting called up soon. And of course, Jordan Grace, Julia, Stephanie Vakir,
They're
Roxanne
already up. Yeah,
Perez,
they're already up.
Axiom just got called up.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So
I mean, the
yeah,
only guy missing out of all of this is Strick, and I think he's going to lose the title tonight, right?
You would
he's going up
think.
against Mike Santana. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, by all accounts, what time is it? So that should be coming up within this hour. We should know that.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So it
then
has to be.
you think about it too. NXT used to be the feeding system. Now it's not them. They
Yeah.
got Evolution. I mean,
Evolve.
Evolve.
Yep.
Evolve. So now you got more new talent that you got to get ready. If they evolve up, they go to NXT. They get done with NXT, they go to the main roster. Okay, you ain't did jack. You doing the same stuff. You ain't improved. You gone. And it's again, it's that feeding system. And again, I don't blame them. A lot of people I wish could stay there and have the runs I would like them to have, like Samoa Joe when he was there. I thought they dropped the ball on him, but it is what it is. Next man up. This a business. If
You know what, though? It also comes down to who is attracting the fandom, though, right? Like, you can put everything behind me. They put so much behind Samoa Joe. They gave him so many opportunities. If the crowd's not buying into you, then that kind of falls on you a little bit too. I'm just saying,
yeah,
right? You know,
but
so I mean,
then
it's a combination of many things.
well, yeah, but think about like Rusev when
Yeah,
WWE wasn't doing jack with him, and the fans got behind him. Rusev Day,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and and at the time it was Vince. Vince said, "No, I didn't create you. You ain't getting jack."
Yeah.
So again, it's who's running the show, what they were looking for, and how we can make money off of you.
It's
Just like
ironically, it's
they were going to
ironic
get
that you
rid of
say that,
Daniel Bryan.
and it's
And
ironic that you say that, Bear. I
yeah,
find that really ironic because if you think about it, they didn't want to push Rusev because he was not Vince's guy. Fast forward to Tyson, and they're not doing shit with him because Vince liked him.
right. And hey, again, in the end, you can have them all the talent in the world. It's what my dad used to tell me all the time. It ain't what you do, it's who you know.
Mm, it's true that I'm learning that
You
now.
you you can work
Oh,
your ass off and still can't get ahead because the next person buddy with them and they're gonna ride with them.
trust me, I think we're all victim of that in here in some form, especially in this genre and what we're doing.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
I know dudes who have Rolodexes of all the phone numbers, but they will never give it up. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and for the kids out there, Rolodex is something that we used to use to keep our phone numbers on.
Right. Hey, damn, I forgot about them. Yeah, that's so old school right there. That was like the first. That was before you was able to keep numbers in your phone. That's what you use right there, or a
Dude, that was
phone book.
yeah, but you had to leave it beside the phone, which was attached to the wall in the house. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have it. I don't have it next to me. I would have to get up and get it. But hell, I still got my pager.
I got mine too. It's in a box. It's downstairs in a box. I have two of them.
I do too. I do too.
One was for personal use, and the other one was for business. Hint, hint.
All right, fellas, let's make our Money in the Bank predictions. We're gonna kick it off with the men's Money in the Bank match. We got Solo Sikoa, Seth Rollins, El Grande Americano, Penta, Andrade, and LA Knight, all in the men's ladder match. I'm gonna go with you. Let you start, Samp. Who you got winning the men's ladder match?
Of all the ladder, Money in the Banks, this looks to me to be the most lackluster in terms of who's in it. It almost feels like, and I'm going to copy Chance here a little bit, this is a SmackDown ladder match. in a way. It feels like it's a
Yeah.
TV match. Take nothing away from the guys. There's so many stories that can go in any direction. Andrade, I don't know why he's in there. Why isn't Mello? Why is not Mello in it? You know, that's someone we're talking about bringing in new talent. You know, Mello should be there. Um, Solo, again, I don't see why he's in there. It'd only benefit me to be interested or vested if Solo had qualified. Then I'd be interested in it. So based on what I've just said, I'm gonna honestly tell you, man, I think Seth walks away with it because it's the only story that kind of makes sense with it now. And I don't, on our show we both predicted him, but I predicted him with outside interference of Braun and Bronson coming in and interfering, allowing him to win because Seth is now at that level where he needs those guys to interfere in every match that we've seen now. So I think Seth Rollins wins it, man, but I just don't see it. I mean, the dark horse, if I had one, if the only guy in that match that's deserving of the Money in the Bank, in my opinion, is wearing a mask, American Grande Americano, Chad Gable, he's probably the only guy in that match who truly deserves that and have an opportunity with it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
What you think, Professor Bear? You could give a prediction and then you could do a dark horse.
Funny enough, I am going with Chad because he's over. He is so. Chad was at that level that he should have. They should have really been pushed Chad to at least the Intercontinental title. Don't know why they didn't, but okay. But now he's fire hot with this doing the Mexican gimmick, and I think that will be a missed opportunity to. Because you could play off that so well. He won it, but then Chad comes out with it, and they're what? No, you didn't win it. So they can play with that aspect of it a lot. If I have a dark horse, I guess it would be I guess it would be Charlotte's ex,
Andrade,
because he's not doing anything, and it's like Seth does not need it. Yeah, it would do the storyline sense it makes, but he gets title matches anyway.
Yeah.
He's know how to play the game, so there's no need to put it on him. Just like when they did to Brock, it was a waste.
Yeah.
So I think it's not as like Sack said, it's not as star-studded, but I'm okay with them trying to build other people up.
Yeah.
But everyone they're building up has already been there, though. Like it's just. We're looking at a Money in the Bank that's not superly athletic looking. It's a bunch of big. Out of Seth Rollins, American, and maybe Andrade at a borderline. The rest of that roster, there. I mean, we're not even talking about LA Knight. Like,
well, because I think with LA Knight, I think he's lost some steam. And I think one of the things that really cost him was them making him drop the title, the U.S. title, to Nakamura to get it back just to feed to Jacob. That was the stupidest thing there could have done, in my opinion, because it took so much away from LA Knight. Now I look at LA Knight as just that guy who talks all the time. He never does anything. Only thing he do is, yeah. That's it.
I like his boots. I wouldn't wear them myself personally, but I've always liked those boots.
I'm gonna make my prediction for the men's match. I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins just on the strength of the storyline. it kind of makes it makes sense. You know, he could come out the next day, come out on Monday with the briefcase, talking junk with Paul Heyman, Bronson, and Braun. He kind of had it. It'll kind of be like the key to the city for him. You know what I'm saying? But my dark horse, I'm gonna actually go with LA Knight as my dark horse. I think that, and Professor Bear hit it right on the head. He should have never lost to Nakamura, to turn right back around 2-3 weeks later, win it, and then go to WrestleMania, lose to Jacob Fatu. So that's definitely true there. But I just think it's time for something. It's time for something new for him. You know what I'm saying? Like going after the U.S. title. I mean, you can't do it now because you're not about to beat Jacob Fatu no time soon. So it's like, why not give him the briefcase? Let him talk some junk with the briefcase, and I mean, he could be the guy to cash in on Cena before he retired. So.
Yeah. The other thing I was thinking about was which promotion needs the Money in the Bank more? Which brand? Raw or SmackDown? And
SmackDown to me need it.
SmackDown does need it, but if you look at the three guys that they're offering, are you interested in any of them?
Well, and I was going to bring this.
Only one that makes sense.
I was going to bring this point up, and I said Andrade, but honestly, my dark horse is Solo. And I say this, everybody's been dogging Solo from him losing the follower, and Jacob is more charismatic. But I like the change that Solo has been doing. It's been a slow, hypnotic. I like that. It's been dark. He's playing a chess game where everybody else is playing checkers, and he already knows that Jacob ready to rumble on him. That's why he brought in JC.
Yeah.
The Tongan's going to be back, and then they got people still in developmental. They still got two of people from the bloodline they could bring up. So honestly, yeah, I think Solo could do some magic with that.
I think so too. Only because of what's brewing with Jacob right now. I think this is where it's going to get fun.
I definitely agree. Real quick, want to give a shout out to Williams Wrestling. He said, "Great show, gentlemen," and I use that word with the utmost caution. We got Chris Nielsen, who's on. He just said, "What up, though?" To me. Was good, Chris. The Rejects are in the chat. Shout out to the Rejects. Check out their podcast. Follow them on Facebook. All right, fellas. So
I won't go as far as call a brother a reject, man. Self-deprecating a little bit there. Come on, have some faith in yourself, Mr. Nielsen.
And I quick shout out to William. I'm gonna have to start promoting I'm the best laugh in the business. I'm gonna have to start incorporating it to my podcast.
Dude, you should be incorporated in your intro.
Yeah.
Try to soundbite of that and just put it in there somehow. I could do that.
Right.
Definitely. Shout out to Chris. He was on the show last week. If you didn't see it last week, check it out on YouTube. And make sure y'all check him out and follow him on Facebook.
And if you want to hear him, check him out on Spotify, because Mike D is on Spotify.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, check me out on Spotify also. Wrestling from the 313 on the WSN Spotify channel. So yeah.
You on X?
Huh?
Are you on X?
You know what? I am on X, but I barely use X, you know.
Fair enough.
All right, fellas, let's talk about the women's Money in the Bank match. We got Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, Roxanne Perez, and Rhea Ripley. Professor Bear, I'll let you start. Who you got as your favorite, or who do you pick to win, and who's your dark horse?
Man, I know a lot of people may not agree with this one, but I think they set Naomi up to be able to do something. And I think she needs this Money in the Bank to continue her descent to a championship.
Yeah, I agree.
If my dark horse, I'm gonna go Julia. I think Julia would be a nice surprise. Um, like we talked about in the men's, the women are star-studded and they have fresh new faces
Yeah,
with a good mix of the current and new faces. And I'm looking more excited about watching that match versus the men's.
yeah, I agree. I
Mhm.
definitely agree.
Yep.
What's your thoughts, Sam?
All right. So first off, Chris Nielsen, you own it, love it, wear it with pride, brother. All set. Okay. That being said, if I had a hall pass, we talk about our 5 people hall pass. It's Rhea Ripley and it's Alexa Bliss on there for me. Okay. But my heart wants Alexa to win, but I don't think she's been back long enough to really get her to that point right now. She's already had it. I don't think Rhea needs it because she's just strong on her own. I can understand Naomi's case for it, but based on what I've seen with the trajectory of Julia, Roxanne Perez, and why is her name the Horns? Why is she
Stephanie
Stephanie
Vicaire.
McGuire?
Stephanie. Yeah.
Stephanie. I mean, I have a feeling Stephanie might win it. Just the way they're pushing her so hard. But my guess is Roxanne. I think Roxanne's going to win this.
I got Roxanne as my dark horse. I want Naomi to get it. I think Naomi has been killing it as a heel. Like, I think she's like one of the best heels in WWE right now. Like, this is definitely a big turnaround from when she was a heel, when she was in what was that? They had Team Bad.
Yeah.
With her, Tamina, and Sasha Banks. Like, this character this heel character she has now is like she's killing it, man. And I definitely think that she should win this ladder match. But yeah, like dark horse, I definitely go with Roxanne Perez. The only reason why, and you're right, Sam, they have been pushing Stephanie Vicaire and Julia, but for some reason, I think they not gonna give it to him yet, just because I could be wrong.
No.
I just feel like Roxanne been there a little longer, and she's been killing it too. I think she was female wrestler of the year. Her, Toni Storm, and Athena. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that if Naomi doesn't get it, I think I could see Roxanne getting it outside of Stephanie Vicaire and Julia. Rhea Ripley doesn't need it, and Alexa Bliss, I still think when it's time, she's going to be in some type of storyline with the Wyatts.
No, 100%. But I think with Stephanie, especially over even Julia, I mean, just look at her trajectory. Double champ.
Yeah.
All the stuff in
Yeah.
6 months, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you just almost feel like her debut on Raw was a qualifying match.
Yeah.
And she handled it with ease, right?
Yeah.
I mean, once you get those 3 girls in that ring, you're going to see something special. People who don't watch NXT don't know what they're in store for with these 3 new girls coming into the company. And, with Mariah May now, as we broke here on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean, shit, this women's division's sick. And that girl's not afraid to show color.
Yeah.
But that's the thing for me, though. And that's why, even though I did say Julia is my dark horse, I don't think enough people don't know about Julia and Stephanie to give them the money in the bank. I don't think. Now, Roxanne has been up and down on the roster. They know about her. She's great. I just think you can let her simmer a little bit, because sometimes certain people they push them like just off the chain, but you need to let them simmer, let them build and then pop them. Again, we all have our thoughts and stuff, but it's like for Naomi, I'm like, this is pretty much going to be it for her.
Yeah.
In my mind, if she
Naomi.
doesn't get something and something soon, I have a hard time seeing her do it. And let me give another shout out to her and oh my goodness, I can't even think of her name right off the top of her head. Who she's been Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they kept kayfabe when they were talking about truth and Cargill. No, Naomi said this is bad. It makes me sick. And Jay jumped on and said, yeah, it makes me sick, even worse than me not liking you.
Oh, yeah. Hey, they be going back and forth on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but then weren't they all at Natty's birthday party enjoying drinks together in their bikinis?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean,
but I love the fact that they could do that, and just little subtle things like that can win me over when people do stuff like that.
you know what's the really interesting thing is here? It's Money in the Bank. There's no rules, and you look at everyone who's in there. They got their henchmen in the background. You got JC. You could have the Tongans come back. You got Braun Breaker. You got Bronson Reed who can interfere in that match. Look at the women's side. It could potentially be another situation where Naomi gets the Tara kicked out of her by Jade before she even started.
Yep.
And then she comes limping back when no one's even realized she's gone, completely gone, forgot about her, limps back and climbs ladder and wins.
Yep. Oh, and so, a point I forgot to make about the men's. We're talking about Seth. CM Punk will interfere. He will not let Seth win that Money in the Bank. That's something we hadn't talked about.
That's an interesting point.
Kind of noticed. Did you guys watch Dynamite by any chance?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you notice the storyline, the opening promos of both Raw and Dynamite were so similar?
Yeah.
Sammy in the role of Will Ospreay, right?
Yeah.
I
mean, who's copying who?
That's the thing about it. The line is so blurred. But that's what I like. Again, I like when you get a feeling from a promo. And no matter what you feel about Will Ospreay, with Ospreay's on and wants to cut a promo, man, he's one of the best promo workers. Him and Hangman.
He's gotten better.
Yes.
Speaking of a great promo, the closing of that show, I'm only bringing it up because I was just really impressed. And I've been waiting for this fight for a long time. Toni Storm and Monet finally interacting I love that. That was great.
I love the fact that both of them kept making the other one laugh, trying to keep straight faces.
Yeah.
And I will argue anybody down. The best promo worker right now is Toni Storm.
Yeah.
Hands down. Nobody can compete with Toni.
No, she's amazing. Her and Mariah had some of the best interactions. I'm just excited. I can't wait to go watch NXT now, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just
and well, another spoiler. Elijah's there to back up Santana in the crowd.
There you go.
Because whoever wins takes on Elijah, I think Thursday.
There you go.
Okay, that's what's up. So let's talk about the tag match that's going on at Money in the Bank. John Cena, Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. This looked like a match that was just put together for, you know what I'm saying, for the pay-per-view to fill it up or whatever. Samp, who you got winning this match?
I got Cena and Logan winning it, and it was already put together really quick, but it's probably going to be the one that brings all the casual fans in for the show and those extra eyes and those extra digits that they're looking for. That's the bottom line. Hate them, love them, Logan Paul, John Cena, they bring the numbers. That's the truth of it. In terms of the match, I think we're basically gonna see a pretty even match, evenly distributed. But at the end of the day, I think the boys, the heels walk away with it just to keep everything fresh and heelish, right? That's the way I see it. Who gets pinned? Probably Cody because he's not a champion.
Yeah, I could see that. What's your thoughts, Professor Bear?
I'm saying the only thing that I'm looking forward to this match for is to see how bad Jey Uso get his ass kicked before he no and because of the Gunther thing. The
Yeah.
promo that Gunther cut in the locker room sitting next to Jay was chef kiss. It took me back to this is why I love Gunther. He is an old school wrestler. His promo, the way he works, and that promo to tell Jay, and he didn't lie about any of it. That was what made me. I knew when they announced it that a month away, I was like, Gunther taking that back. Then Jay's cutting himself up. I was like, Gunther gonna kill him. He's gonna get that WrestleMania moment back. He's gonna knock the hell out of Jay. And you saw he already got beat up last night.
Yeah, he took 2 tsunamis.
And I think he's gonna end up to be the one taking the pin. And then Gunther gonna murder him. So and then here's this with Cody. I feel like Cody can't afford to take the pin. Even though he's not a champion, I would say it's easier to have Uso take that pin than Cody because Cody needs the build up to get back to challenging Cena. And if he loses in a tag match, I think that takes something away from it.
Yeah, potentially I could see that as well. But if you're gonna do that to Jay, then it's kind of like you're really making him. It just kind of builds into the story with Gunther. I feel.
Oh, just talking about how he is as a champion.
No. Just generally story. We're talking story here, right? He took 2 tsunamis, right? And then if he gets pinned on Sunday, then you're really saying, yeah, okay, it's Gunther's to kind of win everything. But then you might get that Jey Uso's resilient against all odds, broken ribs, and still wins, right?
The only reason why I don't think that's going to happen is look at his title defenses.
Yeah.
The matches since he was won the championship. Again, no disrespect to Jey Uso.
Sure.
Love Jey Uso.
Sure.
But and I'm quick to say I hate that yeeting crap. But he has not been impressive as a world's champion. He's not the carrier of the company. This is moments. And think about last year, they gave him a moment with the Intercontinental title. What was that, 3-week run? So now he's getting and that's what I see set up here. They're giving him, hey, thank you for helping unite this crowd. We're going to give you this, but you definitely not a moneymaker.
So Gunther wins. Hypothetically, say he wins and he walks away with it. Then who's big enough
Seth.
in? But Seth is a heel too, so you want to do heel on heel?
You're gonna turn Gunther face. And he's been dropping hints of it.
Yeah,
a lot of people hadn't noticed the hints that Gunther, because look at it. Gunther has walked up to Jay. He didn't attack him.
No, sat down.
That was that. Then
he's more intimidating than being attacked from behind.
Exactly. and look, and then Gunther and Seth had that interaction. Seth does not care who's the champ. He wants the title. And what's the best way of getting Gunther to turn and people will respect his turn? Seth and his boys try to go at him. and you can even bring in Gunther's boy because he ain't doing nothing anyway.
Is he
You
injured?
could bring him back with Gunther and let him take a majority of ass whoopings and pins.
You know who would be good with Gunther if he's going face? Dragunov.
Yes, if he comes back, yes.
Those two, he'd be like a little, Tasmanian devil that he has to hold on a chain.
Exactly. And he respects the hell out of him, and he's one of the few men that's ever. Yep.
And submitted him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
My prediction on this match, I'm gonna go with, since y'all picked Cena and Logan Paul, I'm gonna pick Cody and Jey Uso. Like, this one of them, I think it's one of them matches that could go either way. I see Cena and Logan Paul winning this on some type of cheating or some type of interference or whatever.
Oh, nut shot's inevitable.
And then
I don't mean to interrupt you, but if I was Nakamura, I'd be mad because everybody shitted on me when I was doing the nut shot.
Right.
Can you imagine a nut shot with the brass knuckles? I mean, a combination of the two of them.
Right.
No one's ever done the nut shot with the brass knuckles, I don't think, in wrestling.
That's they should do that because then you can say, oh, he had to be out for this amount of time.
Well, I wish I could copyright that because someone's going to take that and use it.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
That is great.
And then, I'm a writer at heart.
Another reason why I picked them, I don't know. I just don't see Cody taking the L on his first match back, after taking this little break after losing the title. And then I get what y'all saying with, the whole thing with Jey Uso. Jey Uso in like 3 storylines right now, if you really think about it. He's in the one with Logan Paul and that tag match. Then you got the whole thing with Seth and his crew. And then you got the match with Gunther. Like, that's crazy how he like in 3 storylines, and it's like all the stories kind of like connect a little bit or whatever.
If I may,
go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. On his promo, Cody said, "I will not hesitate again." Remember that, okay? The reason I bring that up, and again, it just hit me right now while we were talking here. The reason I think Cody can take the L, because this could start the beginning of the heel turn that we all desperately want for him.
That's
right. So he's saying, I will not hesitate. I will not be this person again. Well, the only way you cannot be that person again is if you become a heel in this world, in this genre. So maybe him taking the L could signify that, because he was bitter, he was sad, he was angry. Here I'm back, blah, blah, blah. My first match, and I lost again. What am I doing wrong? Here we go.
Yeah. And I think if Cody and Jay wins, I see Logan taking the pin. Because because honestly, if Logan takes the pin, do you think it's gonna hurt? It's not gonna hurt him. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it hurts him. He just goes away for a couple months and he'll come back by SummerSlam.
Yep. So that's why I think that Cody and Jay could possibly win this match. Like I said, it's still a possibility Jay and John Cena and Logan could win, but I see some type of interference, or I see them cheating.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, cheating's gonna happen. There will be some cheating on the menu. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, definitely shenanigans.
Shenanigans are good.
Hey, we might get another Travis Scott sighting.
Oh man.
No.
And then
maybe truth is in the crowd.
That would be good.
No one can stop him from buying a ticket.
Right.
So the fourth match on the card, Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch for the women's Intercontinental title. I'm actually interested in this match because if you saw the promo they had, Lyra was giving her them hands yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And
yeah.
I think they did better with this story. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It don't feel one sided where Becky just, you know what I'm saying, just dominating her, and Lyra just playing this underdog. Like, she's actually being the champion, and you know what I'm saying. So I think this is another one that could go either way, but for some reason, I kind of see Becky winning it this time. I do. I think they're gonna let her get a little run at the Intercontinental title, kind of elevate it a little bit, and I think that's when Bayley comes back, and I could see some type of classic match at SummerSlam between those two for the women's Intercontinental title. That's just, I think that's where they're leading to. I could be wrong. What you think,
Right.
Professor?
Man, you took everything that I was gonna say and said it for me. I mean, and one point that you made that I really have to super agree with. The first match I was thinking it was going to be a squash. It was easy. Becky's going to get that title, help elevate the title. Well, when she didn't win, it caught me off by surprise. And then I thought about it. I'm like, well, hell, she's never beaten Lyra.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, you know what? That's great. And the interaction, and honestly, they did the right thing. And like I said, and with the stipulation, she can't go after the Intercontinental title anymore. To me, it's just like, oh man, might as well let her have it now, because that title is new. It's not like a women's world title. She couldn't challenge for it again with her being the champ, but that Intercontinental title, they got to elevate it. So again, like you said, I agree with everything you said.
What's your thoughts, Sam? Who you got?
I am legitimately on the other side of the border on this one. No pun intended. I think Lyra wins. I think, first off, I don't think Becky needs the title. I don't think her and Bayley need a title for SummerSlam. That's just my opinion. The way I look at it, with the advent of a Roxanne Perez, a Julia, and a Stephanie Vicaire, like you were saying, we got to let these girls simmer. We got to build up this name. The Intercontinental title is that title. If you're going to treat it the way the men have been treating it, it was to elevate the next guy up, sort of a deal to put him at that next level. Now, all three of these girls, in my opinion, Stephanie, Julia, and Lyra, are the future of the division, right? You know, if you want to say they're three of the four that came up at one time, in a way. So the way I look at it, honestly, I think Valkyrie win, or I think Lyra wins. But here's now my interesting point: we haven't seen Bayley. Bayley comes out, interferes, causes Becky to lose by distracting her. Something quick pin up, roll up. It saves the title. It lets Lyra now go challenge with the other girls. Let these new talents emerge and work, and let these two veterans and legends have their time now and do their thing. They don't need a belt. They do not need a belt, in my opinion.
I agree with you that they don't need the belt, and I definitely agree with what you're saying of building the talent, because I said it earlier.
Right.
But I think because these are new titles, that in the U.S. title, you need to put a vet on it to help elevate. Because let's be real, we know when Becky has matches, it's going to be good. She's going to put her heart into it.
Mm-hmm.
And Bayley, and that'll give a chance to let the younger girls interact, fight, help build themselves up. And I just think, especially with Bayley just has won everything.
Yeah.
And I know she wants that in a title run. And honestly, I wish that they would have let Natty get a hold of it, even if it was just for a short run.
Yeah.
And I get that. Go ahead.
Sorry, I think that when they introduced those two titles for the women, then they should have had the tournaments with the veterans. So that's what you do. Think about it. When AEW started, they put the belt on Jericho. They didn't put it on an up and comer. They let it sit with that guy in the beginning to build it, right? That's what they
Right.
should have done. They already, in my mind, they already set that title up to be a mid-card title. Right? That's why I'm not expecting a Charlotte or a Becky. I'm still of that school of thought. Once you've been world champion, you're kind of going backwards in a way.
Yeah, I agree with you, but the difference is if you never had these titles to go after, are you truly going backwards? And with the women division, the only thing you had is the world champion. That's the only thing. Then you get a partner and be the tag champs.
Yeah,
Now
I
you
get
got
that.
the Intercontinental in the US. Now you can.
But you could even have Bailey as like Sheamus, for example. It's almost like the title that they never had is the last title they're trying to get as they're going out the door. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Sheamus is near the end. He's never been Intercontinental Champion. He's been basically, unable to do it in the last 3 or 4 attempts that he's had, sort of a deal. So here's one more run to see if he can do it, sort of a deal. That's where it makes sense. I think Bailey falls in that same category at one point. I don't think it's suited to her right now. And I think with the influx of talent that they are pushing up now, I think it's not going to hurt the title. In fact, it will elevate that talent with that title, in turn, elevating the title. I don't know. I could be wrong. This is just the way I'm looking at it in my mind.
Oh yeah, I feel you. I definitely feel you.
Because if they're going to do a veteran thing, they should have done it at the beginning, man. That's just my only thing. It's kind of like counterintuitive to do it now.
Yeah.
Right?
I think we all have to agree that the women's division in WWE and that's NXT, Raw, and SmackDown might be better than the men's division or slightly better.
I think it all comes from NXT. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you completely, but most of that talent is in NXT.
Yeah.
Right? I think what they still need to do, and they've done a better job of it, but most of these girls and guys that are coming up from NXT don't get to be who they were in NXT once they come to the main dance floor.
Yeah.
They're restricted to what dance moves they can do. They're restricted. The most of the guys that I fall in love with at NXT, when they show up on the main roster, I'm like, something's missing. So that's what they need to do. They got to let that go. Like, if it's all the same, right? I mean, it's the same company. You're basically just let them run free.
I think they've done a better job of doing that now because Roxanne, they hadn't changed her.
No.
Julia and Valkyria, I mean, not Valkyria, Stephanie, they hadn't changed it. So I think what you were saying was 100% right. But I think between Sean and Hunter, they see it like, hey, it's no need to change what they built.
Yeah.
Just like now, the one that they didn't necessarily change but wasn't good, I didn't think was good, is Carmelo Hayes. He's still the same person, but it's not as valuable.
Yeah.
Because he's missing tricks, man.
Oh my God! Another spoiler. Guess who showed up on NXT?
Who? Pray tell.
It is the guy that Michael Cole made fun of that couldn't hop over the top rope.
AJ Francis. Yeah.
Yes. He just cost Santana the title.
So Hit Row is in effect.
No, he's still under his old name. I mean, his.
No, that's what I mean. I don't know what you mean, but
right. I didn't get it. Yeah, right.
So with this partnership with TNA, are they still? They have no contract with WWE. They're just kind of working under their TNA contracts. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're looking at Elijah. We got AJ Francis there. Wow. Yeah. This is a good show, man. I can't wait to get off the air as much as I love doing this.
And generally, I always try to keep my mouth shut. But when it's something that I think is big, it's like, oh, snap.
Yeah. Honestly, the only thing I'm really interested in, like, great, AJ Francis showed up. I want to see Mariah May, man. I want to see what she's doing here.
Yeah. So real quick, fellas, before we give our shout outs or anything, is it any final thoughts, anything you want to get off your chest about wrestling, or just anything that's bothering you? Or
I talk about this on my show all the time because God bless him, Chance. He loves the comments. He loves reading all the posts and all that kind of stuff. I don't, guys. I really don't. I never have. And maybe it's just I'm old school that way. I mean, I'm still that guy. I can't work my computer without a mouse. You know what I mean? I can't use this pad. I just can't do it. I haven't. I can shift gears like nobody's business, but I can't work my computer without the mouse. I think people just need to lighten up and enjoy wrestling. I mean, why is everyone so angry about stuff? Like, I mean, just enjoy the show, enjoy the product. If you don't like it, turn another channel on. Very simple, right? I mean, it's the end of the day. I love wrestling. It's never going to change. I've evolved with it from every generation there is. I got every generation's video game, right? And I mean, for me to stop watching wrestling now makes no sense because if I was going to stop, I would have stopped a long time ago. But I just keep watching because I evolve with what they're putting out. It's like soap opera. It's the same bloody thing every year. But I mean, why is the Young and the Restless and General Hospital around for 55, 60 years? It is what it is. I mean, why complain about something we enjoy? There's just so much more we can hate on. Why hate on the stuff we like?
Well, and I would say I think that's it. You kind of hit the answer without recognizing it. We are so passionate about what we see and stuff that we get so distraught because either A, they're not doing what we think they should do and we could run it better, or B, they're doing what we want to do, but it's not hitting the same way. It's that complaint, as I like to call it sometimes, it's that love complaint. It doesn't mean you don't love it. You just have to complain, and you don't mean it maliciously. You don't mean it to stop other people from enjoying it. It's just your frustration is there. And what I was going to say too is, and I get where people are doing that. The part I can't stand is like you said, if you hate AEW so bad, don't watch it. It's simple. We have too many wrestling companies available for us. If you don't like the way Tony Khan runs it, then don't watch it. Watch what makes you happy. But you got to be, like you said, you just got to be careful, because sometimes when you complain so much, stuff happens. So you got to be careful. And look, like I was mentioning with TKO, if something goes down where the WWE disappeared, most people will have a heart attack, want to go jump off buildings, just whine. And then we get stuck with the big AEW. Then, of course, if you don't have competition, it sucks. Look, when WWE didn't have competition, they got lazy, it got stale. So, again, and I didn't mean to jump off on your talk, Sat, but
no, man, brother, man, jump away. That's beautiful.
It's just like you said, just enjoy. And as my boy Joe Monroe says all the time, just shut up and watch, enjoy wrestling.
And that's it, plain and simple. Like I think I'm only bringing this up is because the rare times that I do go online on X to read comments, I did for this R-Truth one because I just didn't understand it. Because Chad just kept telling me, man, they're ripping them to shreds. I'm like, yeah, people are always going to do that. That's usually my response to when he tells me stuff, right? It is what it is. What can you do, right? People's opinions are opinions. I check these comments out, man. There's some vile stuff out there, man. Like, there's no need for that. Like, seriously, right? And that's the norm. I realize that's the way people talk.
That's them Twitter fingers. That's what that is.
It's a show. It's a show.
Yeah.
have that passion for someone who's ripping you off, or if you're not making enough money, or someone's being mistreated in your family. They don't show that kind of passion then.
Hey,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you think,
Just saying.
hey, if you think the comments on wrestling are bad, just look at a post on Michael Jordan and LeBron James or Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. You're gonna be like, bruh, like
I've looked at some of that stuff, and I'm just like, again,
it's terrible, man. It's terrible. Like it's like y'all are really in y'all feelings, but that's another story for another day.
No,
Like,
100%. This is the world we live in, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
this is the world we live in. Everyone just hides behind a keyboard. You know, I come from a time where if you had beef, you said it straight to the dude's face. Two options: you either fight it out, or you both walk away. That's it.
yeah.
Right? And it's squashed, sort of a deal. Nowadays, everyone's like talking crap about everybody, and no one even knows who's talking crap about who.
Yeah.
And I had to learn the hard way of learning to shut my face, because on Facebook it's easy to get drawn into stuff, and I was going back and forth with them, and then one day it just hit me. I'm like, why in the hell am I arguing with this person? They're gonna have their opinion anyway. I'm not gonna change it. Why am I wasting the time and energy to do this?
Yeah, I've been blessed, man. I've never had that thing. I've had no inclination. Like, I'll respond to comments on our channel. You know, like if someone says something, hey, yeah, man, that's pretty cool, but this is what I think. You know what I mean? That's about it. Like, I've never really commented on stuff. I don't read comments. I don't care for it, because I truly believe at the end of the day, people who are talking crap about whatever any of us are doing are jealous because they don't have the guts to do it themselves. Plain and simple. That's the way I look at it, right? Anyone who shits on Samp and Chance, Mike D, or the professor is because they don't have the guts, the gumption, or the glory, or the self-confidence within to do what we're trying to attempt to do. Very simple.
And like I'm a person that I love to hear your comments, because maybe it's something I'm missing. Maybe I can adjust. Maybe I can change. And like you said, I don't read a lot of comments. I hear things, and people say, well, I appreciate your comments. I appreciate things, but hey, as many podcasts are out here, man.
But we also come from a generation of yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. Even to this day. Even to this day. Right?
Yeah.
So it's a difference in generations, how we treat people and how people treat people.
Yeah. Real
Scary
quick
part about us three is if they actually get us pissed off, then they're in trouble.
Right. Right.
And you got to be a real filthy dude to get me pissed off these days.
Real quick, I just want to have my final thought. So I know everybody's been hearing about the releases that have happened over this past weekend, and then we had some more releases that happened a couple weeks prior to that. I just want to tell wrestling fans, like, at the end of the day, yes, it hurts when certain wrestlers get released. It's like, why are you letting this guy go? Why are you firing them? We need to relax. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when we hear the news, it's a shock value, especially with R-Truth. He just got out of a storyline with John Cena. He was on Saturday night's main event in a match with him a couple weeks ago, and he was on SmackDown. But at the end of the day, all of these guys are going to be okay. They are going to find jobs. It is not the end of the world. WWE is not the only place that these people can work. And 9 times out of 10, they go, when they get released, some of them find something better. You know what I'm saying? They put in better opportunities at other promotions. So I just feel like the IWC needs to just chill out. I know people are passionate about, some of the people that get cut, but at the end of the day, they will be okay. And like in wrestling, you can always come back. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you get cut, you're not done. They'll always bring you back.
Unless you're right back.
We've seen it in the past with Hulk Hogan.
CM Punk.
CM Punk, Sky Hall, Kevin Nash, the Ultimate Warrior. Everybody comes back. So it's just like everybody needs to chill out, and that's just how I feel. That's just my final thought. I ain't trying to sound like Jerry Springer or nothing, but sometimes we gotta just, let the people know, like, sometimes y'all gotta chill out. And I'm excited about this weekend. We got 2 wrestling shows, especially now with basketball starting to fade out now with the finals. We need something to watch on Saturday. So hey, I'm more wrestling the better until football season starts.
What about your Tigers?
Oh yeah, the Tigers doing real good. But you know what, with me with baseball, like I don't really get into baseball until after the All-Star break, because that's when things start really like heating up.
Unless your team is doing really good and then you have something invested to follow the whole year, right?
Yeah. I think we got the best record in baseball right now. If it's not the entire major league, I think it's the American League.
No, because the Yankees are on top of the division.
Okay. Well, the Tigers in the Central and the Yankees in the East.
I thought Tigers were the same division as Baltimore, Boston, Toronto, and New York.
No, the Tigers, they in the same division with
Cleveland,
Kansas City, Cleveland,
okay.
Chicago. Yeah.
So Baltimore, Toronto. Okay, fair play. Done. Yeah. Done. I'm a Cubs fan, so I'm happy because my team's actually doing pretty good so far. So baseball is the only sport that by the first month, if your team is below a certain level, season's over.
Oh, well, we already know Colorado season is over with. So,
okay, that's kind of stuff.
They lost 50 games before they won 10. So, yeah, their season is over.
I'm about to say, what's crazy about it, I am not a baseball guy. I used to be, but I can't get into it anymore. But I knew how bad Colorado was doing. Jesus. Hey, I could go outside, grab some neighbors, and we could do better.
I think they're trying to compete against the Athletics for who's the worst of worst.
Look, we can get a bunch of podcasters go to Colorado, and we could beat the Rockies right now. For real. And we don't even have to hit no home runs. They're all
for what it's worth, I was a back catcher for 15 years.
Oh, that's what's up.
Dude, I actually made it to a certain point where I was at that next stage where I have to take it seriously. But unfortunately, at the age of 16, I discovered girls on a full-time basis. And I found these little green trees to be very, very happy. And that was the end of baseball. But I played hardball for like 15 years. So
that's what's up. Real quick, want to give a shout out to JD and Mayhem Media. Appreciate your comments. Make sure y'all check them out. So real quick, just want to say thank you, fellas. Appreciate you guys filling in. It's always a pleasure to have you all, and we do the Main Event Roundtable. Shout out to Joe that couldn't be with us. He was having some difficulties at home, but with the weather and stuff. But he'll be on with us the next time. So, Professor Bear, did you want to give any plugs, shout outs?
Yes. And generally I don't do this, but it's because who it is. Please check me out tomorrow. I am blessed to have the legendary Ricky Morton and his son Kerry on my show. And I really am blessed and humbled to have such a legend.
Wow.
As I treat every one of my guests with respect. But again, this is freaking Ricky Morton. And I'm blessed to have a conversation with him. So
dude, that's gonna be sick, man. The stories about the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, the Road Warriors. Wow.
That's what's up.
Dude, I'm on that. I am on that, and I'm gonna leave comments and I'm gonna piss you off, Bear.
It's all good. Give it to me.
Love it.
That's what's up. Sam, you got any plug shout outs?
Yeah, man, we're up for a busy Saturday daytime and evening. We do wrestling and boxing on the Samp and Chance show. So here's my Saturday for you guys. We're going to be over in London watching the Wardley fight, and that's going to be happening out of the UK as well. WBA or WBC interim heavyweight titles on the line there. From there, then 12 o'clock noon, I think while we're going back and forth, we're going to watch Worlds Collide. Stephanie Valcaire, it's something we didn't talk about. Valcaire and Chad Gable doing double duty, going to be on that show. That slides right into the main event of the boxing from the UK. This is the start of Money in the Bank. We got that. And in the evening, we have UFC. If you're into that thing, 316. Also, we have a top rank card happening where Keyshawn Davis will be fighting. Abdullah Mason's also on that card. So, guys, I have a packed Saturday. We break it all down every Tuesday and Thursday. This week, unfortunately, Wednesday and Friday. I apologize for the day delay, but that's just the way it works out sometimes when we're doing our thing. So tomorrow, we're going to drop the wrestling. We have our predictions there. Then Friday, we're going to do our prediction show for all that stuff on the boxing. So, Samp and Chance, Matt, you want wrestling, you want boxing, you're one stop on the West Coast where we give it like no one else can.
That's what's up. That's
Amen.
what's up. Real quick, want to give my shout outs and plugs and stuff. So, of course, check out Wrestling from the 313 on the WSN app. And also check us out on the website. Go to the podcast room. Check out Wrestling from the 313. Check out Samp and Chance. Check out all the great wrestling podcasts out there. A lot of people out there on the grind doing their thing. Of course, check out Wrestling from the 313 on YouTube. We just hit the 5,700 subscriber mark. So thank you. We on the road to 6,000, eventually 10,000. So yeah, just make sure you keep tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, and yeah, follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and yeah, if anybody didn't see, go on any of my pages and check out the cameo video I got from Chris Van Vliet.
I saw that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty dope right there. Yeah, you know, we just out here grinding, man. And tomorrow got another episode. Justin Summers, he's the promoter from IPW, Island Pro Wrestling. I think that's based in Canada. So yeah, he'll be on. We'll be chopping it up with him, talking about his promotion and what he got going on. So yeah, this the summer of the 313. We got a lot of cool guests coming on, a lot of first timers, and yeah, I'm ready to just take over the world. Sign off.
Nah, man, let's do it. We all got the world in our grasp.
Oh man, and I know I get talked about Ricky, but hell, Thursday I got not one but two live podcasts.
Sweet.
So this week I'm like both of y'all, I'm grinding. Man, my schedule is getting booked up where I got to do 2 days live now of so many great guests and a lot of independent wrestlers that need that love and show them support. Definitely got a bunch of promoters too. Like I said, I've got referees. I'm trying to do everything to show love to wrestling.
Absolutely. Hey guys, if you have anybody who's looking to get promoted in Canada and trying to get spread out, send them our way.
Definitely.
Got you.
We'll give them a bit of that West Coast love.
For sure. So we about to get up on out of here for my guests, Professor Bear, Samp. We are the Main Event Roundtable. I am your host, Mike D. I will see you tomorrow. This is Wrestling from the 313. We are out. Peace.
Guys, take care, guys.
All right.